Hi, I'm George, the Weather Dad, with your weekly planner. Now, of course, in October here, we can get some cold shots of air, and that's exactly what we're going to be experiencing for this week coming up. Now, that's going to be some good news for our friends down along the Gulf Coast and the southeast. That's because this cold air is going to penetrate all the way down into the state of Florida, into the Gulf of Mexico, which means anything tropical that's going to form will stay down in the Gulf of Mexico or even down in further into the Caribbean. But it is going to be a very chilly week ahead. Taking a look at your temperatures here on our Monday. Notice most of the country normal or below normal. Right here in the Ohio Valley, to give you some perspective on temperatures. High temperatures this time of year in the mid to upper 60s with nighttime lows down into the 40s. Now notice here this demarcation of the warmer colors and the colder colors. This is where the cold front is. Watch what happens here on Wednesday. And we can honestly say just about all of us here across the continental United States will be normal or below normal. So notice even some blues and greens showing up here and there. But notice again, this is where the front is. It will continue to push south. And once again, this is going to be like a wall, if you will. Anything tropical forming down into the Gulf of Mexico will also be pushed down to the south. And that's certainly some good news. Now by Friday, we see this air mass modifying somewhat, so we're getting closer to normal. In fact, a little bit above normal there in the plains, but notice the very cold air for those of you in the Pacific Northwest and also in the Rockies. Precipitation, not a lot really going on. We have a system approaching the Pacific Northwest, pretty much quiet across most of the area. Now this is on Monday. Notice what's going on here, right around portions of Lake Michigan and even up around northern Lake Superior. You're looking at lake effect showers. This is what happens when very cold air runs across the warm waters of the Great Lakes. Now, normally in the wintertime, we'll see lake effect snows, but temperatures are going to be warm enough to where I think these are just going to be some showers and very stormy up in the northeast. Now, by Tuesday, notice what happens. We dry out for the most part, but notice these showers here in the Ohio Valley and portions of the Midwest Great Lakes region. Once again, this is going to be some lake effect enhanced showers. In fact, those of you even further south, you'll be waking up to some clearer skies, but because the air mass is so cool, the sun will warm up the ground, and that's going to produce some afternoon cumulus clouds. So you'll start the day off on a sunny note, but then you'll end it with quite a few clouds around. That's on Tuesday. Here on Wednesday, not much changing. Starting to see some activity down here in the Gulf of Mexico. Once again, that's where that front is sitting. So anything that does develop is going to stay down to the south. Again, some lake effect showers there across Pennsylvania, Ohio, and New York, and up in New England with another system moving into the Pacific Northwest. And that's the one that's going to bring some really cold air for you there. Here on Thursday, again, pretty quiet with the exception of the Rockies. You may be looking at some snow there for you, but again, the rest of us are pretty quiet at this time. And then here on Friday, nice little system there in the Rockies, and again, that could be producing some snow. Pretty quiet across most of the area. You got a system, it looks like it's going to try to get organized there along the mid-Atlantic and up in towards New England later on in the week, but it's still pretty quiet across most of the country. So now let's take a look at the tropics. We're still kind of into hurricane season a little bit. You kind of see a lot of mess down towards the south and even in the Atlantic region, but nothing really approaching us at this point. Another shot of some colder air coming in for next week. And even a little closer look, one model does want to produce a tropical system there. This is for next Sunday now, down into the Caribbean, slamming its way into the Yucatan Peninsula. Don't think this is going to happen, but we're going to have to keep an eye on it. We're getting now to the portion of the hurricane season where things are going to get a little bit more difficult to form. But one model does produce a tropical system. But again, that frontal system will be sitting up here, and with another reinforcement shot of cold air should keep anything that develops down towards the south. So let's kind of hope so from that standpoint. But looks like you're going to have to bring out the jackets for the upcoming week. I'm George, the Weather Dad.